Hey everybody! Alright, so we're gonna cut some soaps today, and as you know, I've been playing around with cold processed soap, and so today we're gonna cut our goat's milk soap. And I don't know, I make a soap that has honey and bee pollen, and it has like a whole cup of honey for 2 loaves of these, and it has oats in it, and it has this honey fragrance in it, and it gets really dark, and I've always thought that it was the honey that I put in there, but now I'm wondering if it's the honey fragrance or if the lye reacted so poorly with fresh milk in cold processed soap that did it. But now I don't know which one it is. Of course, this is our Essential Depot basket, and we're gonna open it up. I let it sit for 2 days instead of 1 day, since it or 48 hours instead of 24 hours. And these are our wonderful Essential Depot molds, silicone molds. They're so thick and wonderful because it is a goat's milk soap. And look at there, I damaged it just a little bit. Look at that. Look how dark it turned. But now I don't know if it was the honey fragrance, which I'll go get a bar of that soap that I make and show you how dark it is, that I put this honey fragrance in. And it smells beautifully like honey, by the way. But now I don't know if it is the process of putting fresh goat's milk in with lye active that caused it to turn dark. Ooh, but that makes me think it's the fragrance. Oh, that makes me think it's the fragrance. On the fragrances where I've gotten the color change because of the fragrance, and I didn't know this at first, it would be darker where it had contact with the air, and then it would slowly fill in. So that makes me think that it was the fragrance, not the goat's milk. So there's hope. There's hope. But this soap is just beautiful, other than the fact it is really, really dark. And for some reason, and I bet you it's the fragrance. No, I used a colorant. I used, you were here with me when I did this, guys, but my brain is dead. I've been working all week, and this is my last day on the job. Bridget works tomorrow. And I used, I believe, bentonite clay, and the bentonite clay has turned brown as well. And I'm gonna just hang on. I gotta borrow that soap. Just hang on a second. Okay, here it is in the package. Can you see how dark it is? And this looks so close to that color. So now I don't know if this is a good way to put in the milk or not, because it could be that the honey fragrance turned my soap that color. See what it does? I've always thought it was the honey and all that kind of stuff that caused the soap to be that dark, because when you put honey in hot processed soap, it's, you know, and it's hot, it makes the soap really goldeny, and it can get really goldeny brown. But now I think it might have been the fragrance. It's the honey fragrance. So, but, and the activated charcoal turned that color too. Look at that. I mean, it's sort of pretty, and I bet this whole thing turns that color, and it's beautiful. It's goat's milk, and it's gorgeous. And we did a beautiful job, and it went in fine. But you know, that lye, it reacts to natural things. And that's why so many cold processed soapers use powdered goat's milk. And you know, I don't use powdered goat's milk. I use the real stuff in my hot processed soap. And because the lye is dead when almost completely when I put the milk in. And so, oh, but it's pretty. It'd be really pretty if it'd stay like that. So now we're gonna have to do it again to see. So next week I'm gonna whip up another batch of this and put goat's milk in it, just like I did, but I'm gonna make it unscented and see what happens. I wish this video could be a complete video that says yes it works or no it doesn't work. So, but all I can say is maybe it works. I mean, it's soap, but we don't want our soap turning brown when we put milk in it. I mean, that's no fun. I mean, it's not like the worst thing that ever happened in the whole wide world. But for the bentonite clay portion to turn to, that makes me think it's the fragrance. But we won't know till next time. I promise to try to hurry with another video on how to make goat's milk cold processed soap and try everything the same way, but no fragrance. All right, so that's that. Now, I wanted to show you while I had you on the horn, one other soap I made. I didn't do a video on this one. This one was during the class. I had some students in, and this was one of the student soaps. Whew, it's still soft. And this one is Kimberly's favorite recipe. Isn't that pretty? We put bentonite clay and activated charcoal in it. And if I remember correctly, I gotta start making notes. You know, with my soaps that I make all the time, I know exactly what goes in them. I know what they look like, and I'm not used to having to make notes about the soaps and what's in them and stuff. See, I don't sell these soaps. These soaps will be available. I'm attempting to make them available on my website for patrons only. So it'll be a page that only the patrons can go to, and they can get these soaps for the price of the shipping. And then if you sign up at a larger level, it's in there, it's in the patron thing, then you can get a free part, shipping included. Come on up out of there. There we go. Oh, it's pretty. I don't think I put bentonite clay in this one. I didn't. I just put activated charcoal. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? So pretty. This one doesn't have goat's milk in it, and boy is it pretty. But I was trying to remember what fragrance we put in it. I can't remember. I've let it touch my face. I hope it's not light active. Cold processed soap can be active up to 2 weeks after you make it. If for some reason your soap is light active for up to 2 weeks after you make it, you need to check your recipe. Something's wrong, or you did something wrong. Let me show you some more of these. They're so pretty. Aren't those pretty? Yeah, I'm excited about those. Now, I want you to be on the lookout. We did a little video. I had one I didn't get it blended well enough. And I had a light separation on the top. And so I did a little trick in the mold to fix it. So I want y'all to see that. And so that will be the video that comes active after this one, I believe. So I'll go back a day or so after this one has went public, and I'll put a link into it. But be watching my channel for it. Let me show you what it looks like. It looks like hot processed soap now. This is Grandma's old-fashioned lard soap with a little bit of color and some scent to it that normally gives just a touch of a browning color. I just had some light separation on the top, and I fixed it in the mold. I didn't have to cut it up and grate it and stick it in the crock pot. So be on the lookout for this one here. All right. Okay, it's been a few days. I made this soap last week, and I told you that I would put a little clip on the end of this video, so I've been leaving all those little clips there just waiting to be put together, and my OCD has just been dying about it too. But anyway, so just to recap for me, because it was last week for me, it's just like a second ago for you. I made a goat's milk soap with a brand new method for me in cold processed soap, and I used a fragrance from Essential Depot, and I've already experienced, you know, they use a lot of natural based ingredients for their fragrances, which is one of the reasons I can use it where I can't use other kinds of fragrances. So I'm very limited because of my allergies as the kind of fragrances that I can use. My face breaks out really easy. We had to, I mean, I was forced to use some pesticide in the house, and my face just, I mean, I went to the bedroom, I closed the door, Steve sprayed the ant killer, but literally they had encompassed my whole pantry. They were in boxes. I mean, it was like a horror movie, but with sugar ants. And so, you know, I didn't have time for natural remedies that I use because for killing or warding away ants, and so I had to do something fast. And so I hid in the bedroom, and then after he sprayed, I turned on the vent in the kitchen which pulls air out, and I opened the back door, and I waited a good while before I came out of the bedroom, and still just the fumes floating around in the air, my whole face was just like, I looked like, you know, a 16-year-old boy that loved French fries. You know, so I really have to be cautious with what I use, and I can always trust Essential Depot to sell me something that, when it comes to a fragrance, that's not going to break me out and I'm going to have no kind of reaction to it. So that's who I use, because I know that that's what they're selling. So anyway, so I know that other soapers have mentioned that certain fragrances seize or cause seizing in cold processed soap. So I've never had that problem because I do hot processed soap. And of course, there is always the complaint about certain fragrances changing the color of your soap. So when we first cut this, I had that dark line around the edges where it had air contact with the fragrance, and I felt for sure then it was the fragrance that caused this reaction. And now I haven't seen the soap. I just, you know, let it be, because I wanted to give it, you know, a good, I think, let's see, I think it's been 5 days. And so I wanted to just, you know, and I added the fragrance to the portion of soap that I put the bentonite clay in, and I feel like that it wouldn't have changed to the same color if it was the milk that was being eaten or burnt by the lye. I think that if it was the lye damaging the goat's milk, that it would have turned orange, you know, because that's what lye usually does to goat's milk, is it turns it orange. But I'm gonna have to test again to be sure. But the color that this soap currently is, which I've not let you see, I think surely it's the fragrance. It smells really good. And you know what? It's not ugly, but it's midnight brown. Look at that. Even where the activated charcoal swirl is, which you can barely see there in the middle. And I think for the activated charcoal, I mean the bentonite clay, excuse me, the bentonite clay swirl to have turned that color of midnight brown, that it had to have been the fragrance. I really believe it was the fragrance, but I don't know. You know, I mean, everything that I see and all my experience in hot process and what little experience I've had in cold process, that tells me that it was the fragrance that caused this color, not the lye reacting with the milk. The first time I ever did cold process soap was some years back, and when I put spices directly into the goat's milk, it would turn, the lye would eat on the spices and turn them black and a real ugly color, and you could tell. And this just doesn't, and it would be very discolored, like it was like discoloredly eat, you know, at the spices. And they were pretty when you cut it. You didn't see any color change at all when you cut it. But then within just a few days or so of the lye still being active in the soap, it changed and it ate on it. And I heard of this lady who was putting lemon juice in her goat's milk cold processed soap because she thought that it would stop the lye from being active. But, you know, and I'm not a cold processed soaper. I'm a learning cold processed soaper. But my soap genie brain says you put citrus in a goat's milk soap, and citrus is to remove excess oils, and goat's milk is to moisturize, and that sort of defeats the purpose of being an extra moisturizing soap. And if you stop the lye from being active right when you mix it together, how will the lye then be able to put the soap into a gel stage or a firm stage if it is killed by lemon juice? And I don't know if lemon juice will kill lye in cold processed soap, but there's this really fun lady on the Essential Soap group page on Facebook, and I did a roll call post where I asked for what soap did you make this week, and she put goat's milk with lemon juice. And I was like, I had to comment. I was like, what did it do? Why'd you do it? What does it lend to the soap? And that's what she said. Hello, kitty kitty. Have you come to see the YouTube people? Huh? Or did you just come to see me? Look over there, it's YouTube. Come here. Come here. No, I know. Just because I'm moving you around. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. She won't do it. She's in charge of her reality. Say meow. There you go. But she looked at me when she did it. Anyway, so now I can't touch my soap. I gotta go wash my hands. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on now. Go on. Go on. She knows when I hiss at her. I hiss at her real gentle, like if I just want her to not do something, and I hiss at her really roughly if she's being bad, and she doesn't like to be bad. All right, so I can't pick the soap up again because I petted the cat and I'm having a bra malfunction, all on YouTube. So anyway, so that's my opinion. I think it was the fragrance soap, and Philip's graduating, and I have got a couple of days that I'm going to be able to redo this batch. I think the end of this week or towards the middle. So I'm going to redo this batch, and I'm not going to put any scent in it, and we're going to test it officially. No fragrance, no colorants, just plain goat's milk. No oats, no nothing. And we're gonna see what color it turns. And then I'll let you know, because you'll be right there with me. All right, so thank you so much for using my Essential Depot link. And thank you so much for watching the commercials. It really helps me out. And thank you so much if you might be considering being a patron. It's $1 a month. I get 67 cents of that dollar. I have 3 patrons. I'm so excited, I know, but 3 people cared enough about me to give me $1 a month, and you know, and I give so much to you guys, and so time, effort, everything. My whole life is connected to my YouTube channel and helping other soapers, new soapers especially, with those problems getting started. And so I really do appreciate those wonderful 3 patrons, and I thank you if you might like to become a patron as well. Alrighty, bye everybody. Alright, okay, I've got some links for you.